Hello again. This is Gary Hines from the Gary Hines Consulting Group and another edition of EVF, Escape Velocity Formula. And today I'm going to be talking about career options and job choices as part of the 5-part process I have for career strategy and management. So I know we talked about a couple of things about assessments and how you should do those, and what you need to really figure out is what is it that I want to do in my life, kind of thing, what interests me, what excites me, what gets me going. So now it's time to maybe take that to the next step. So having gone through the preliminary exercises that I suggested before, it's time to now brainstorm some logical options to get market feedback and then narrow down the possibilities to a carefully thought out list of initial career options and job choices. Now, again, let me preface this by saying this is primarily for job seekers, but this could also be for workers who are looking to just change careers. So if you're unemployed or employed, you can use some of this to think about what are some career options that I may have right now. Okay. Make your initial cut by sitting down and writing out a list of possible careers or jobs that are a realistic fit with what you've learned about yourself. Again, from those assessments, and some of those are formal and informal assessments, learn what they are that sort of match your skill sets and interests. Then brainstorm some related options, perhaps with the help of a relative or close friend or the help of a career coach. I can guide you through this as well. And then get some market feedback. And when I say market feedback, I mean from colleagues, associates, and professionals who are in a position to know your skills and the requirements of your target industry or career. So if you're in accounting, in accounting, you might want to talk to another accountant about kind of like what are the possibilities, what does the world look like now for somebody in that field? Is that something you want to do? Excuse me. The next thing you want to do is establish what is called an employer wish list. So the time has come to make a wish list of adjectives that describe your ideal employer. Okay? Who is it you want to work for? You want to work for a big company? You want to work for a well-known company? You want to work for an international group? Who is it? What is the size? What is the location? What is the industry? What is the culture, the values, the environment, the people? Again, this is kind of like fantasy, but it's something that you should certainly be thinking about, because the worst thing to do is to get involved with a company that you really don't like anything that they stand for once you get in there. So you got to start thinking about what is it that you want personally in a company and what the company has to offer. So if you don't know what you might what you want in an employer, you need to find out by doing some research. What are you comfortable with, and what makes you uncomfortable about maybe the way companies operate? Some of the things you could look at on this employer wish list are things like how ethical or honest is this company? Will they admit to mistakes and not attempt to force feed a problem to a vendor or a contractor? I think about, when I think about ethical behavior, I'm thinking about the environment. I'm thinking about civil rights and kind of where we are today in 2020 with racial injustice and things like that. So where does the company stand on things like that? Is it a small firm? Is it a size 10 to 30 employees, or is it 500 people in this company? What's comfortable for you? Is growth steady but deliberate? Sometimes that makes a big difference in whether you want to work for a company. What is the location? What is the travel arrangement? Is it within a 50-mile radius? Would you be commuting every day by train or car? Is travel okay? You got to think about a family. You got to think about time to get there in the morning and get home at night. So travel and a geographical radius is also critical to your employer wish list. So does the company appreciate new ideas and ventures and calculated risks? Do they micromanage people? Now, some of this is going to be hard to find out if you don't know anybody at the company, but you can sort of tell sometime by their public messaging how they do things, how they feel about things. In today's technology world, and with all of the different profiles and sites and social media out there, you can sometimes find out a lot about a company just by looking at their website. Um, are they non-corporate? Are they stable? What are their projections for success? And are they stable? Do they have a good reputation? So these are some things that you certainly want to think about when you are evaluating a company. Okay? So then we move on to what I call a perfect job description. So again, now's the time to draft your own perfect job description. Here is your big chance to finally design the job you've always dreamed of. You want to be bold. You want to use your imagination. You want to do some research, go online, go through your old employment files, read some ads, do whatever you need to do to create what you would call a really, truly perfect job for you at this point in your career. Like, what would be perfect for you? So I know that sounds crazy, but it's almost like you're creating a job description for your perfect job. And that's basically what it is. What would the title be? So, for example, Director of Technology and New Media is a title that you could live with because that means something to you, and that brings into focus what it is you want to do. What does the candidate look? What is the overview of this job? So if you're the Director of Technology and New Media, what's an overview? How would you promote this job? And in general speaking, in a narrative text form, what is this job all about? And then you might want to move down to what the candidate would bring to a position like this. So again, you're thinking of keeping yourself in mind. Do you have a degree? How many years experience do you need? How much technology do you need to be a Director of Technology and New Media? What is the, is having 5 years enough? Is 2 years enough? Is a college degree even needed? So these are some things you want to think about in this perfect job description. What are the roles and responsibilities? What would you be doing on a daily basis, on a monthly basis? Would you have a staff? Would you be supervising people? How accessible are you to the leadership in the company? This kind of thing. And then finally, what is compensation for you? And you can do this by going to salary.com. You can go to glassdoor.com. And I'm telling you this step because this step is very critical for you in your career strategy and management. I can help you along with this process. I can guide you in the right direction of where you need to go. But what you really need to do is, this is going to make you much more aware up here of where it is that you want to go, where it is, things that are comfortable and valuable to you. As part of my strategy and my plan and the escape velocity formula, I utilize this step to really, really dig into somebody's brain and psyche to figure out what is it I really want to do? What company do I really want to work for? So again, just recapping these career options and choices, you want to go from exploration to execution. You want to make that employer wish list. You want to also do some research on think of some companies. Think of 5 to 10 companies maybe in the area that you'd like to work for. Let's take this same position, Director of Technology and New Media. Do you want to work for Comcast? Do you want to work for a startup? Do you want to work for somebody who is maybe based in New York City or Washington, D.C. and has a satellite office in Philadelphia? I don't know. But again, these are all the kind of things you kind of play around with. So as you're out there job searching, you can say to yourself, I have to keep in mind that I want the company to be small. I want the company to be green focused, various things like this. So let's talk. Give me a call, give me a buzz, so we can certainly find out what it is that you need to do and where you need to go next. So I'm Gary Hines, Gary Hines Consulting Group. My website is garyhinesconsulting.com. Phone number is 215-954-8309. Thanks all.